I had a dream a couple of days ago which the emotional response surprised me, which I got from that dream. It felt very vivid and present and brought up so much pain. Yeah, in my dream I remembered the situation where my own mother decided to prefer the contact to my abuser instead of her own child. Came up so violently in that dream. Usually I think of myself as someone who still somehow, I don't know how, but still somehow capable of being grounded, let's say it like this. But this dream hit me like a train, let's say it like this. Yeah, it really pulled the rug under my feet. In this dream I relived the moment, the situation where after I had texted her many years ago that I cannot allow myself to have contact with people who have in turn contact with the abusers. Yeah, unfortunately, it hasn't only been one person in my youth, and I texted her back then that she either has contact with me and has to break off contact with the person who abused me. Well, let's say the last person she had contact with who abused me. Or she prefers to keep in contact with that person and has to live with the consequences that I will not be capable of staying in touch with her if that would be the case. Yeah. My emotional state or my feelings in that situation where my decision to make such an ultimatum was based on was the feeling of betrayal and also confusion to live in a situation where someone who is supposed to be dear to you, although I never really felt dear to anyone, I never felt but at least it was supposed to be like that, and this person still had contact with such a person who didn't respect my borders, even though I made them crystal clear, and I suffered from the transgression. this was a. I'm sorry. I'm not such a good speaker. Yeah, and I told her if she decided for me, which I assumed she would do, we could meet at a place at the ocean, the only place in my life where I find some sort of, I almost said peace, but it wasn't peace, some sort of relief. Yeah. From the sound of waves washing away the emotions, the pain. It was the only, still ever was the only place I felt I could find a little, at least a little solace. And that's why I intended to meet her there, because it was my comfortable space, so to speak, even though it was the wilderness, or not like jungle or something, but it was outside, it was in the green. And yeah, I waited. I waited. I waited so long you wouldn't believe it. I was so naive. I was so naive. Stupid. Yeah, she decided against me. She didn't come. She didn't come. Uh, I knew it hurt me. But when I remember this, relived this situation in my dream, unfortunately, when I'm asleep, I don't seem to have the mental defense mechanisms I somehow seem to be able to use when I'm awake. Subconsciously, there seems to be some sort of defense. And the emotion of feeling betrayed was so intense. In this dream, it was so much in this dream. And the only thought I had was to kill myself as fast as possible. To finally find some end to the pain. And the emotion was so intense in that dream that this agony made me wake up, and I woke up with this burning pain. So much I woke up in the same feeling that I need to end myself as fast as possible. Also transgressed into from the dream into I never had, despite all the things that I went through, I never had this exact feeling. Never did I feel it this intensely. It was so strong that the only thought I could harbor was to, even when I was awake, to find the fastest way. And my idea was to grab a kitchen knife. The thoughts, when I reached that part about the kitchen knife, there were already a couple of seconds that had passed between the wake up and this crystallizing thought, that I felt this the agony subsided somewhat, and I realized after a couple of seconds that these emotions were so strong that they felt, okay, if I slow down and don't do something rash, yeah, maybe it will subside the wish. And I just forced myself through the agony, and yeah, it did subside. It did subside. And but the pain was still real. And somehow it was replaced by a feeling of dullness. A feeling of emotional dullness. Which is very sad. Which is very sad. It was the first time after so much that I went through. The first time in my life. It's such an intense feeling of I do not know if I will ever live a happy life or anything. I will even have a life that seems even remotely normal. I do not know that. It is likely a possibility that this will never be the case. But technically, I don't know that. I say to myself, if I kill myself, I hate my life. Every second of my life is agony. There's absolutely nothing I like about my life. Nothing. But strange enough, even after all what has been done to me, all this hatred and lies, and from every corner of society. Sometimes it feels like that. So much evil. It would feel like evil had won if I ended it all. And even in the greatest pain, it is. It helps me ground myself. Evil, evil people, evil. The concept of evil should not win. Yes, it might. It's very likely whoever sees this will not and will never understand this. Will think it's over the top or it's strange or whatever. It's. You can not understand it. Of course not. How how do you want how do you want to be able to understand such a situation, life, feeling, attitude, if you didn't have such a life? And I don't wish it to you. It obviously is not easy. But this grounds me. I don't do it. It's almost a mechanical procedure. I cannot do this. I cannot allow myself to cater to my feelings, because they are only negative feelings. That's not a good basis for a decision. And I cannot allow evil to win. Over the top isn't its own. I mean, it would feel like, for example, my father had won if I would kill myself. Or whoever abused me. And I don't know, it would feel like the point on the eye for evil. It would be like helping a victim, helping the serial killer kill himself or something like this. Counterproductive. Yes, but after all, it came to a great surprise to me that I had this experience with this dream where I relived what I where I relived this very moment where I realized that my own mother decided against me. Somehow it's poetic, strange as its own. Somehow it's so sad you gotta laugh about it. It's so sad you gotta laugh about it. Yeah, it's hard sometimes to interrupt this pain. Well, I never succeed, but interrupt thoughts that might be grounded on this pain. I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you. I cannot make you feel how much I need. I crave like a starving beast. Some peace and solace in my life. Just to be left alone in peace and just I don't even know how that feels. I don't even know how that feels. Um, yeah, life. And somehow I try to remind myself, and fortunately, somehow I succeed, that ending my life is obviously something very absolute. And the future is not written in stone. My head knows this, even though my mind and my heart might not believe in it always. But the future is not written in stone, and it gives me some solace. I say to myself, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe one day when I'm breathing my last breaths, when my last day has come, then I can say, okay, it wasn't worth it to live on. Or there's some sort of poetry in it that you only know it when it's too late to decide to end it for reasons of simplicity or reasons of avoiding agony. Yeah, of course, if my life would go on like it was the first 37 years, if I knew it would be like that in the future as well, I would not, I would not, I would not do it. I would not do it. Yeah, I didn't enjoy a single day of my life, and it's not logical, but it's not written in stone. So as long as I don't off myself there's at least the minuscule chance that something can, well, life is the definition, excuse my bad pronunciation, is the definition of change. So change will come anyways. So at least you gotta have the courage. In this case, I also gotta have to, yeah, gotta have the courage to continue to exist and give life a chance. A chance. Even, it doesn't matter. Many doors have closed. Yes, sure. But it also it would also feel like it's somehow like blasphemy towards life. Yeah. I don't know, it feels wrong. It's not about morals. Yeah, I mean, if someone feels that way, yeah, it's it's a feeling. It's there's no good or bad about it. It's a feeling, a genuine feeling that somebody has, yeah, and it's just about facing it and trying to find a way to maybe talk it dirt, talk the emotion dirt, yeah. What's the philosophical term? Deconstruct it, deconstruct the thought, yeah, and just realize, okay, you close the door, and I like to motivate myself with stories. For example, there was this guy at the Golden Gate Bridge who tried to jump, which is, the bridge is famous as a suicide spot, and that one guy tried to jump, and some police officer saved his life. Yeah, and he talked him out of it, and then he got a happy life. Yeah, and they meet and have this connection. Yeah, and he realized, yeah, okay, if he had ended himself, he wouldn't have had this life. Yeah, and this is what I was wanted to say with absolute. Yeah, I mean, if you finish yourself, there's no second chance for life. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, there's no, okay, my bad. Um, it does also seem to happen. Yeah, when people jump or drive their car in the water or something like this, when it's too late, or strangulate themselves or whatever, when they begin the process, they realize that they prefer to live after all, but it's too late to stop the process. Yeah. So this is also something not often talked about. So probably quite a substantial fraction of people who try to off themselves um, in the process of dying regret it. So yeah, life is, holy is the wrong word, but I'm failing to find a better word. Sacred, I don't want to use such bloated terms what religious people try to use for their doctrine, but life, I don't know, is something wondrously wonderful, let's say it like this. So not, maybe not necessarily positive, but also not necessarily negative, but in the sense that it is a something that grows and develops, and when you stop it, it's sad. It's actually sad, yeah. That something in your life hit you so hard that you decided to stop this process, yeah. It's the eternal continuation, yeah. Yes, and this helps ground myself. You know, okay, yeah, people regretted it, and later, as shitty as their life was before, they somehow found happiness or even family or whatever, and they found out, hey, it's worth it after all. It's worth it. There, you know. Sometimes this tunnel we go through seems so dark and long. Yeah. And sometimes we get exhausted of the length of this dark tunnel. But maybe so much more do we see the brighter light when we come out of this dark tunnel and find light that gives us warmth, yeah, and shows us that not everything is bad, yeah. And this light can be anything, can be a pet or a beautiful moment in life, or you save someone else's life, or develop medicine that helps people or whatever, or maybe just stroking an animal, or whatever, you know. This light, you know.